Welcome to Talking for 30 Minutes, number 6. This is the show where I talk for 30 minutes about whatever pops into my head, whether you care about the subjects or not. I'm going to start out and I'm going to talk about cartoons. Because I've been watching cartoons recently, and it's what's on my mind. It's what I can, what I'm at liberty to discuss at this moment. So today, I got back from working the fields. I was doing landscaping work, and I got back and I took a nap and I watched the Looney Tunes show, it's a show that I think ran on Cartoon Network or Boomerang or both when I was younger. I think 2010 was when it was released originally, but I think I watched it like in 2012 or so on the reruns. And I was looking online, and it looks like they still show reruns on like Cartoon Network today of the show. And I think it's a great show. I was watching it on Max. It used to be HBO Max, but now it's just Max. And I don't know why exactly they changed the name from HBO Max to Max, but, that's what I was watching it on. That's what I was watching the show on. And, I like the show. It does a good job of doing something new with characters. So you also have that remake element, the remaking review, where it's like, as far as remakes go, or spin-offs, sometimes they try to copy exactly what they did in the past. And sometimes they try to do something new with it. And usually, trying to do something new with it is better. It creates a better product. And such is the case with this show, the Looney Tunes show. And what it basically is it's like a sitcom starring characters from the Looney Tunes, mainly Daffy Duck, Piggy, and Bugs Bunny. And the only one that's really the one that's the most similar to how they were on the original Looney Tunes cartoons would probably be Daffy Duck, but they're all a little bit different because it's a sitcom. It's a totally different context and situation. But Daffy Duck is just he's hilarious on the show. He's just like stupid all the time, and he lives with Bugs Bunny on the show, on the Looney Tunes show. And then Bugs is just kind of constantly like irritated by everybody else's stupidity. But then he himself also gets into sometimes stupid situations. But yeah, everyone else is basically dumb. The mouse is smart. The Mexican mouse that runs the taco store on the Looney Tunes show, he's smart. But, yeah, I like this show. It's a good show. And they made new like straight up Looney Tunes episodes where where they just did. They tried to copy exactly what the old format was, and I watched some of that, and I thought it was pretty bad. But I mean, the quality of the graphics were good, but it was like the way it was done, I just didn't. Maybe I'll have to give it another try, but I didn't like it very much, unfortunately. It came out. It was a Max original. Was the new Looney Tunes shorts or episodes? Yeah, and Disney did remakes. I mean, they did. They brought back the traditional Mickey Mouse short cartoons, and they actually did a really good job. They had that. I don't remember what the show was called, but if you look up Mickey Mouse show or cartoons, it's on Disney Plus too, and a lot of them are on YouTube. Those are really good. They're really fun to watch. They did like 5 seasons of them, so there's like a lot of them, and I really liked those. They're just fun. A lot of them take place like internationally, which is cool too. So that's an example again of them using old stuff but making it their own, trying new things. So like the animation's a lot different, and the way the stories are told it's a lot different. It's better. So I like that. And as far as the cartoons go, I guess I have just a couple more things to say. Tom and Jerry, I really like Tom and Jerry. And Tom and Jerry is kind of allegorical for, well, shit, I guess it's kind of like, it's like absurdism. It's like finding meaning and creating your own meaning. Because it's like every day Tom tries to chase Jerry, and every day he fails, but he just keeps up with it. And then if anything were to happen to Jerry, it would be like bad for Tom, because then Tom would be out of a job, out of a purpose. And it's kind of interesting. I've been thinking having a job is worthwhile. I think it's like even like people that don't need a job end up getting a job, because it's just kind of like we're wired to have like some kind of a purpose. Plus, it's good to have something that you can complain about later, so that way, relative to that experience, you feel like it's pretty good. Like, if you have to work, then after work, you can be like, oh, I'm done with work. If you don't work, then you're just kind of in a constant state of everything is work. Or you're probably not going to feel satisfied most of the time. Maybe that's just speculation on my part, but I'm pretty sure it's accurate. I think we've all had enough experiences to know that that's pretty much accurate. You don't want to get bored with time. And when you do, you end up finding something to do. Today I ended up watching shows because I had a lot of time. But after a while, shows get boring, and you go, shit, now I don't even like shows. So, you can have too much of a good thing. Absolutely. And then it kills it. You don't want to do that. You don't want to kill good things. So, going to work serves a function in your own happiness. Plus, it gets you money. It's kind of like a win-win. Like, it's good for you just to work, and then also you get money from it. On the all in all, you want to choose a job that gets you more money and is more fun, in my opinion. Those are the two important elements to a job, in my opinion, is that you have a good time, you feel satisfied, it's helpful or whatever, and it pays well. That's what you want. And having the right job is very important, because you spend most of your life like energy at your work. your life can pretty much become one with your work. So if you have a job you hate, then you probably hate your life. Or at least you hate a good chunk of it. So it's worthwhile to have, to figure out a job that you like. Preferably that makes a good amount of money, but if it doesn't, you'd rather take a job that you like than take a job that pays more that sucks ass. So you got to figure out that like ratio for yourself. But I think everybody kind of does that. You know, you're thinking, how fun is this? How much do I like this? Does this make me want to kill myself? How much money does it get me? Add in the variables, you compute it, and you go, okay, I'm going to keep doing this, or I'm not going to, or I'm going to do something else, whatever. So, yeah, that's how it goes as far as work. As far as that whole process, I suppose. Well, it's I talked about cartoons and I've talked about work. So, what am I going to talk about next? I guess I'm going to talk about music. Yeah, I'll talk about music. So, I tried to do GarageBand the other day, and I realized that it's actually kind of difficult, and I don't know how musicians make music. Like, I understand how people can learn to play a song. That seems hard enough, but I don't know how people come up with new music. That seems very difficult. I used to have the perspective that like it was easy and just some people got lucky with getting popular, but now I'm thinking it's really hard. So, yeah, I've considered learning the guitar, but I'm kind of demotivated at times when I think about how much time it would take and how much commitment it would be. You don't want to waste 100 hours and then give up. But, you know, it could be a good experience. Probably learn it eventually. It'd be fun to at least know how to play some basic songs. Could do it in my free time. We'll see. Yeah, I bet I will. I bet I will learn it. I bet I'll learn some guitar. Some basic guitar skills. Be worth my time. I mean, what else am I gonna do? No, I mean I do have stuff to do, but like as far as like hobbies go, I think getting into guitar would be a good one. Is what I'm thinking. And but as far as hobbies go, I also like bowling a lot, which I talked about bowling on the last 30 minutes of talking, and just bowling I like it a lot because it's very satisfying and it always feels like you're one step closer to figuring the whole thing out. It's like once I figure out bowling, it'll just be something I have figured out. And then I won't have to worry about it any longer. I mean, not that I'm worrying about bowling now, but it's like it's gonna be a done deal is what I mean. Like as far as the if I go to a bowling game, it's gonna be like it's gonna be satisfying. It's gonna be like a good time. What sucks in bowling is if you think you figured it out, and then you start doing bad again, and it's like, what? I thought I had this figured out. I thought I had this whole bowling thing figured out. You know. That's my perspective on bowling. That's my current perspective on bowling. I'm having kind of a troubling time. I'm having trouble this 30 minutes of coming up with shit, I guess. I mean, not really. I don't know. I've already come up with like 4 topics spontaneously. I'm improvising. This is improv. This is an improv 30 minutes. I guess now I'll talk about style. I was thinking about style the other day. Thinking about being a stylish person, and that, I guess, going into college, going, wearing shit that makes you look cool, and having a cool personality, kind of like living artistically. These are stylish things. I guess I was mainly thinking of the benefits of, the benefits of adding style to your life. If you add style to your life, then your life gains a new element. And it can be fun. And I thought about it, and I thought that might feel kind of neat. It might feel like a neat experience. It might just enhance things. So that would entail having cool clothes and having a sense of stuff like that. Leaning into your intuition, maybe so. Like leaning into your uniqueness. That would be stylish. Then you have your own style. I think that would help with certain things. Could make things more fun. I mean, honestly, I guess I thought it would be good with girls, too. I feel like girls like it when guys have their own style. They're stylish. That's kind of cringe, I guess. Nah, not really. It's more like just like looking at things and thinking about things. And I think it's pretty accurate that style helps with stuff like that, and helps with flow, and it helps with clarity, and it can help with how to handle yourself in different situations. If you have a style, then you know what to do, and you can do it well. That makes sense to me. I mean, everybody's got a style. I think being a stylish person is probably just leaning into, as I said, your unique traits. So that's kind of what I thought about last night, I guess. I have not been very consistent recently with my daily routines, but that's fine, because I'm doing cool things. I don't think I'm wasting my summer or my time, which is what matters. And I'm consistent enough to where there is like progress in my various pursuits, and that's good for me. Something that just doesn't work for me is the rigidity, being real rigid with my daily routines. It just like makes my life kind of hectic and stressful. So I've decided not to do that, and so the consequence of that is maybe not as much consistency with stuff, but also just a more enjoyable life, which is what's important to me. Evidently, it's just having an enjoyable life. Being stressed out all the time when it's totally unnecessary is like, I don't know. For me, it's not the move. So it's not something that I tend to go into. Changing topics, I just remembered last night I was playing the Wii, and I was trying to find my old DS games. I couldn't find them. I think my sister has them, so hopefully she'll bring them back with her when she's moving back to around where I live. So hopefully she'll bring them, and then I'll be able to play them again. But yeah, I love those old DS games I used to play. I used to play like Star Wars and the weird games like Kung Fu Panda and Madagascar and Wall-E, Sonic. I played those games a lot. So very nostalgia trip. But last night we were playing the Wii. We played Smash Bros. We played Cooking Mama. We played Super Mario on the Wii, Smash Bros on the Wii. It was good. It was a good time. The Wii is a good console. So happy with that. It was a nostalgia trip. It was fun. The Wii is old though, and it's loud. It's a loud thing. But it's given us like my childhood. I just played so much Wii. I'm talking like 8 years ago. 8 years ago, from like 4 to 10, because my older siblings would play and I would play, and it was a good time. And now we have the Switch, but I rarely play the Switch. So last night we were playing it and it was really fun. I used to suck at Smash Bros. I think I'm better at Smash Bros. Now. Better at the Switch one. I was having trouble on the Wii. I wasn't used to the controls. It's just slightly different with jumping and stuff. Which, knowing how to jump and save yourself in Smash Bros. You don't want to fall off the edges. That's the big thing. So knowing how to jump is so key. And the major strategy I realized, I guess, is just hiding and letting the other, if there's a 3-person game, hiding and letting the other 2 people duke it out as much as possible. And then by the time one of them is out and they go after you, you have like a full life above them, or maybe more. And then that puts you in a good spot to win the whole thing. So that's the 3-person strategy for Smash Bros. That I noticed. Is you just want to hide. Maybe that tells you something about the way you're supposed to live. Just hide away, and they won't get hurt. I don't know. Probably not. Depends what your goal is. If your goal is to stay safe, then it might be a good choice. But safety is boring. So some people say, live on the edge. YOLO. I don't think there's a right way to live. If you think about that, you'll give yourself a headache. How am I supposed to live? I mean, it's worth asking, but also it'll give you a headache. My basic answer to how am I supposed to live is I don't have one, but I have goals, so those kind of direct me. And I have goals because I guess I'm addicted to I enjoy the feelings associated with achieving my goals. Actually, kind of an explicit thing I'm about to say, but I whacked it the other day, and I realized that I am basically just living from high to high, chasing good feelings, good times, and it's like you just want to feel good, and there's some feelings that just feel good, and you just want to kind of stay in those feelings. And the most I've ever had of that, where I just feel like kind of euphoric for a while, was when I was consistently meditating and I was making kind of good introspective progress. And this was This was like during COVID times, I think. And so, in a way, I've kind of been chasing that high again for the past bit. Where you go, I want to feel like that again. That was pretty awesome. And that's a thing I think a lot of people experience, is chasing their highs from the past. But what was giving me those highs, I think, back then was the meditation, and then also I was realizing new levels of freedom just with thinking about things like the big thing for me was noticing how small I was in the universe. It gave me a tremendous amount of freedom, and it's seeing things from an absurd lens, like, wow, this is really crazy, and everything is so absurd. But I don't think that would give me the same rush this time, because I already understand it, basically. So it's like, I don't know. It's hard to regain those highs if you've already experienced. You have to look for new places to get new highs. That's a thing that happens with a lot of people when they get into weird stuff. It's because it's like almost like you can't have the same high twice. You have to find another source. So you gotta go, where am I gonna get my next dose? It's very much like a drug addiction life. You're just chasing those dopamine or whatever, serotonin rushes, and you're like, oh, I want that. And I want it to last. You want it to last like multiple days. You want to get into a flow. And you know kind of that it's, in theory it's possible because you've experienced it before. And you're like, that would be really quite enjoyable. So, yeah, I guess that basically sums up my past 2 years, is like trying to chase that. But yeah, I mean, that's like a pretty, I'm sure everyone's had experiences with that. So what am I going to talk about next? This has gone so deep. I also I've made very little, this particular 30 minutes, I've said very few things that I think I can turn into a good short. Into good shorts. So that sucks. But maybe I have said some stuff that can turn into good shorts, so maybe that will be good. We'll see. As far as turning things these into YouTube shorts, it's a pretty, I just go search around the video and find good 15-second clips. So I mean, what would get views on shorts? I could talk about the Oregon thing. I'll talk about that. That's a topic I want to talk about anyway, and it's a topic that'll get views maybe on the YouTube shorts. So Oregon and Washington joined the Big Ten, which is wild, and I think they're joining in 2024, which is wild, which is cool. Well, not that cool. I'm kind of against it. I think most people are. It's just kind of sad how the Pac-12 is ending. The Pac-12 is ending. Or it will probably end. Or at least it won't be like a Power 5. Because right now it's down to 4 teams. Or it's going to. I think we have this last season. And then it's going to be down to 4 teams. So that really sucks for them. Oregon State and Washington State are getting screwed. I don't know what's going to happen to Stanford and California. But it's no good. It's no good for them. I think Oregon, I was kind of hoping that Oregon would stay in the Pac-12 because the 12-team college football playoff was set up such that if you win a conference, the top 6 highest ranked conference champions would automatically get into the college football playoff. And so my thinking was, great, now the Pac-12 is pretty easy to win. So Oregon will basically get in automatically. And I'm pretty sure that holds up. But because they're going to the Big Ten, now that's just not possible. And they're going to have to get like an at-large bid. And the Big Ten is like going to be so impossible to win a conference championship in, because you got so many teams, so many good teams now. Because you got USC, UCLA, Washington, Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan State, Wisconsin. So it's just so hard. But we'll see on that. We'll see how that unfolds. I think Oregon's looking good. I think Oregon's going to win a lot of their games this year. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited about the college football season. College football is great, even though I've gotten like nihilistic on it recently, with like I can predict most games and why does it matter? I still get so excited, and I'm so excited for this upcoming season. So yeah. Okay. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, like, thanks.